Power of the Ouija board and is an
Board, a harmless toy or a pipeline to untapped psychic power. It's marketed as a game, and the manufacturer claims no connection with the paranormal. But others believe that Ouija boards have been known to make startling predictions. There are even some people who claim the Ouija board has changed their lives forever.
The Ouija board is not a toy and it's not a game, and I'd like very much to see it taken out of toy stores.
Unfortunately, there are many negative experiences with Ouija boards, just as there are positive ones.
I mean, I felt like I was being raped. Well, when I first started using the Ouija board, it was just for fun. And then about a year ago, I took it out and something happened. And I got scared and I put it away. And I went to bed. It was about 1:30. And I kept feeling like there was something or someone in the room. And I tried to get up and I was pushed down. This tremendous force on my chest was picking me up and throwing me back down again. I felt like I was being attacked. I grabbed the sheets and I tried to hold down to the bed, but I couldn't. I mean, I felt like I was being raped.
The Ouija board, in one form or another, has been used for centuries by many different cultures. The first recorded use was in 479 BC, when a Ouija-like instrument was used in China to communicate with spirits of the dead. The contemporary Ouija board hit the U.S. market in the mid-1890s and was originally called a witch board.
Imagine, if you will, that the Ouija board is like a dimensional doorway. In using the board, you basically open yourself up as a receiving station. You can get something positive or you can get something extremely negative.
Some experts dispute its paranormal significance and suggest a more down-to-earth explanation.
Not all contacts on the Ouija board come from the spirit world. A lot of them are operated through the subconscious or unconscious minds of the operator or operators.
The Ouija board is a mechanical device which is used to facilitate automatism. And automatism is where a part of the body or the mind does something that is unconscious. In utilizing a Ouija board, the planchette can be moved by changes in the muscular tension of the people who have their fingers on the planchette. And that muscular tension can be controlled by one's subconscious or unconscious mind.
Perhaps the most bizarre case involving the use of a Ouija board occurred 2 years ago in Augsburg, Germany. 6 U.S. Army enlisted personnel, analysts with high-level security clearances, claim messages from a Ouija board encouraged them to risk their careers and imprisonment to carry out the directions of the board. Only now have 2 members of the group agreed to come forward.
Basically went to the Ouija board out of frustration to find answers about ourselves and other things.
Davis claims the Ouija board's responses were almost immediate and that they spelled out the details of impending worldwide disasters.
In a period of about 6 months, we really only used the board 7 times.
The entities predicted to us the Gulf War in May of 1990, 3 months before it happened.
As we got more involved with using the board, the information that we had received reached levels beyond our imagination.
Over a 6-month period, the group recorded predictions that foretold increasingly catastrophic events. They believe the Ouija board was also urging them to leave Germany and warn people about these disasters.
We were told by the spirits to leave. The phenomenal part of this whole situation is that we as a group got together, and in only 7 sessions, we had enough information that convinced us that we needed to leave.
On July 3rd, 1990, all 6 soldiers went AWOL. Their desertion triggered a worldwide manhunt, and law enforcement agencies around the world were told to treat the deserters as if they were terrorists.
In July of 1990, a group of soldiers stationed in Germany left their posts and came to see me in Gulf Breeze to discuss their paranormal experiences. I found that their experiences primarily had to do with the Ouija board.
Within days, the 6 soldiers were arrested in Gulf Breeze, Florida, by local authorities working with the FBI and military police. They were charged with espionage and taken to Fort Knox, Kentucky for interrogation.
We considered ourselves dead, gone. we would not be seen again by our families, and they had the same feelings.
But that was not what happened. After the soldiers were interrogated, the case took a bizarre twist. In a break with standard procedure, the Army decided to release all 6 soldiers with honorable discharges. Was there a connection between the unprecedented discharges and the Ouija board's predictions?
All of our predictions were documented. The military confiscated all of our written notes after we were captured 2.5 years ago. So the government knows that our predictions are extremely accurate, but for them to admit that publicly, of course, is a different matter.
The collective mind of these soldiers may have been operating in another spiritual one, because I've never seen a spiritual being tell a group of people to do something as drastic as that could get them locked up for the rest of their lives.
What power did the group really tap into? Was it their collective unconscious at work, or were otherworldly spirits using the soldiers as a conduit for their cataclysmic predictions?
What people tap into a lot of the times when they're experiencing a real negative phenomena with the board is what we call inferior spirits or low-level intelligence. These are people, entities, animals who have not migrated to the next level of life.
When utilizing a Ouija board, it's very important to set an intention of why you're doing it, so that if you're determined to create something that's very, very upsetting, it's very possible that your subconscious will cooperate with you, and something like that would occur on the board.
We were 6 people from different backgrounds and different beliefs that came together and experienced the same kind of phenomena.
If I could make a difference in the world, and if meaning going AWOL and giving my life for that would make a difference, then to me that's a good sacrifice. And I was willing to sacrifice that. Also, I felt the information we were getting was important enough not to be hidden. If there's a possibility of it happening, people need to be told.
So far, the group's predictions have been startlingly accurate. If their accuracy continues into 1993, they could be tracking worldwide disaster.
The entities that spoke to us on the Ouija board predicted the LA riots 2 years before they happened.
Looting and rioting did occur in Los Angeles 2 years after the group's original prediction. And their predictions for the coming year?
Future predictions the entities made to us included a major earthquake in California in '93 with a magnitude of approximately 8.3. A major earthquake in Seattle in '93, which will trigger the eruption of Mount Rainier. A major gas leak and explosion in New York City in '93. Also the collapse of European royalty in '93. The forming of the United States of Europe in '93.
Skeptics may deny the Ouija's power, but many still caution against its use.
I genuinely cannot recommend the use of the Ouija board. In my experience, there are too many negative experiences, and sometimes very serious negative experiences, recorded as a result of opening up areas of reality that the people are not ready to handle.
I think we're playing with something that we have no understanding about. These are very, very strange, unknown powers, and God knows what you're dealing with.
According to Vance Davis, the group hopes that their Ouija predictions for the coming year don't come true. If they should come to pass, the group believes that it will signal 6 years of cataclysmic change. Once the catastrophic chain of events begins, all 6 members say that they will go into hiding and won't reemerge until the year 2000.